They choked! Collingwood choked!
I don't like the club's reasoning. The club's reasoning is all whatever.
Why does it concern anybody else? I very understand.
It absolutely matters because
why?
The club's...
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel for another episode. By now, you should know who we are. We're here to talk about footy. Nabil, how's your weekend? How you been?
Busy.
Yes, it has.
We had the weddings across Friday and Saturday.
Yep.
But all done.
Yeah.
There's a couple more. One of our boys, actually, in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Shout out to Anis in a couple of weeks. He's going to get married, so
absolutely.
Very excited for that. Anyways, they choked! Collingwood choked! 5 goals up, and they choked. 5 goals up at the SCG.
I can't even say
in the words of Mark Williams.
Carlton won. Carlton won. Collingwood lost. You are having a field day with this shit, aren't you? You are having a field flipping day with this shit.
Oh, man. You were asking all day, why are you wearing a shirt and tie?
Yeah, that explains a lot now. I was about to ask you why you're wearing a suit and tie today. Not suit and tie, sorry, shirt and tie. But yeah, unfortunately. What about the Pies and their choking do you want to talk about? Yeah, since you brought it up. Since you brought it up, elaborate. Go on, tell everybody.
I've been waiting. You choked. You're 5 goals up against the Sydney Swans.
5 goals up halfway through the second quarter.
You were celebrating. You sent us a Snapchat. I'm loving it.
Yeah, life was great on Friday night. I'm not going to lie to you until about halfway through the third quarter.
Wow, the Swans turned it on. They found a way to overcome Collingwood's defence.
Yeah.
Collingwood strangled them. They wouldn't let them go through the middle. And then
that run and carry that Sydney are very good at.
Yeah.
That was non-existent on Friday.
They found another game plan and they said, you know what, we've got plan B, plan C, and shout out Dane Cox.
See, Collingwood do turn up when they feel like.
They don't turn up.
They turn up when they feel like it. You know what I do want to say about Friday's game? There was horrible kicking from both teams.
It was.
15 behinds apiece. That was disgusting, to say the least.
It was.
But at the end of the day, the better team won.
Swans.
I said this last week. When Collingwood's backs are against the wall, what do? They show up. They showed up.
They lost. This is the game they should have won. And it's kind of,
They should have won this game. They should have won the Hawks game. In Kane Corns' word, if Scott Pendlebury shut the hell up.
You don't agree with that?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Because why are we relying on a 38-year-old to win games?
That's a different conversation, though, isn't it?
But that's the point. He's saying if Scott Pendlebury's there, Collingwood would have won those. Why can't we win without Scott Pendlebury?
I don't like the club's reasoning. The club's reasoning is all whatever.
Why does it concern anybody else? I very understand.
It absolutely matters because
why
the clubs. If Collingwood came out and said, you know what, we can't rely on a 38-year-old. We've got to rest him. We've got to play a couple of kids. I'd much prefer that.
This is bullshit.
Okay,
they're honest. It's an issue. They're not honest. It's an issue. So what does everyone want?
Just be honest.
But they're still going to cop the backlash for it. Are they not?
Well deserved.
Are they not though?
Well deserved.
Nah. Honestly, they had this plan going into the season.
He probably didn't need to play last week. But he could have easily played this week.
No, he couldn't have.
Why?
Because he's traveling as well as a 5-day short.
He already had the 5 days off.
It was a travel.
It was essentially 2 weeks off. He didn't need 2 weeks.
He played the Geelong game. No, he didn't play the Geelong. He did play the Geelong game. He did play the Geelong game.
And then he didn't play last week.
He did. I think he should have played against Hawthorn. I'll be honest with you.
Okay.
But the fact that he didn't play against Hawthorn, it is what it is.
Okay.
If they went into this whole thing planning for this, because they were talking about when Pendlebury was going to play and not play in like round 2 or 3. So they already had this
poor planning?
No. Because why is it poor planning? Because they decided this 2 months ago and they executed it now. Why isn't it still an issue? That's what I don't understand. They already knew what they were going to do months ago.
Yeah, but
like people are making it an issue now. Like Collingwood were going to change
shit. You probably
shit.
win against Hawthorn.
If he played?
If he plays, and you probably win against Sydney.
If Darcy Moore took that mark, we would have won that game, yeah. I blame Darcy Moore, not Scott Pendlebury. Darcy Moore was your fault. We lost against Hawthorn.
That's actually a good point. You disagree with Kane Corns?
No, I disagree with everybody who's making an issue out of this. I'll be honest with you.
He could have played one of these 2 games.
I'm saying, what did we not play?
Not even both of them. Okay. Maybe not both of them.
Did we not play well against Sydney?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, was Scott Pendlebury playing? No, but was Scott Pendlebury playing? So we could play very well without Scott Pendlebury. So my point is,
are you not a better team with Scott Pendlebury?
Absolutely, I don't question that. But what I'm saying is, we should be able to win and close out these games without Scott Pendlebury.
I agree with that.
Is Scott Pendlebury 22?
No, he's not. He's 30,
which means he's not going to be here more than another year at most. Yeah. So why are we still relying? I'm not saying him being part of the team making us better is not the thing. I'm saying the fact that, or people are making it like without Scott Pendlebury, it's doom and gloom. Without Nick Dacos, it's doom and gloom. I get that. Without Scott Pendlebury, brother, you got to be able to win games without Scott Pendlebury at this point.
Fair enough.
Brother is 21 years into his career. He's about to retire. So like,
fair enough.
The whole commotion around him being rested, him not.
You're saying he's an extra player.
He's a gift. He's a bonus. That's you know what? That's what exactly what Scott Pendlebury, a bonus to Collingwood right now, because he shouldn't be. Per statistics, he should not be playing right now. This good. But speaking of Scott Pendlebury, he is breaking the record this week, and we can have a little bit of a chat about him.
We can.
Yeah.
Are you excited? You going?
Yes, I am going to this game. I'm very excited.
There's a lot of merch, a lot of Scott Pendlebury merch.
You know what? I'll ask you that question.
He's getting a lot of the profits.
He's getting all the profits.
All the profits, yes.
I have a question for you. What do you think, or do you think it's an issue that the club has decided, or the club and the AFL have decided, that he can get 100% of the profits instead of the way it normally gets divided between the AFL, the club, and the player?
Personally, I don't care. I don't care.
Are you saying this because Scott Pendlebury in Collingwood, or do you think you're saying this generally?
The story is becoming bigger than it is. Let's focus on celebrating Scott Pendlebury.
Is that not what people love doing? Blowing shit out of proportion?
I don't care.
He hasn't played games. He's not doing this. The merch is money.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
So you're saying there's no problems with it?
I don't really care, to be honest. He's going to make the most of his merch sales.
Yep.
I mean, as a footy fan, I think it just all that extra stuff, even this stuff about whether he should have played, he shouldn't have played, the payments thing about outside the salary cap, and I think there was one other issue off the top related to Pendles off the top of my head.
Him playing at the MCG, the home game,
all of that. Let's celebrate it. Let's enjoy it. Let's embark on it. North didn't do. I don't think North did a good job. When Brent Harvey celebrated it,
he Collingwood and everybody else is
celebrating it. So,
but also you play for the biggest club in the land.
Yeah, North could have done a better job celebrating Brent Harvey.
I agree with you. I don't disagree, and I don't actually remember what happened for that.
That's the thing.
10 years ago
this
now.
Scott Pendlebury thing is, we've been talking about it since the start of the year, and it's got such build up and hype. So,
talking about the player, where does he rank for you amongst this generation of players?
He goes. I've always said Pendles is probably a little bit underrated.
Yeah.
Because, yes, he hasn't won a Brownlow.
But he's won everything else there is to win.
He's been almost consistent across his entire 18 seasons.
Would you call him the most consistent footballer ever?
I don't know about ever. I need to do my research, but arguably in the last 25 years.
30 years,
I mean, his entire career, he's rarely had a bad season. Maybe there's a couple of seasons where I was like, maybe slow down.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he still won an Anzac Day medal this year. So, I don't know where he ranks. I think he's maybe in the top 10.
Of this generation or of all time?
Of this generation.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think he doesn't get spoken about often against the likes of Judd, Cousins, Ablett. He's never in that conversation.
Yeah, and I think
you can make a good argument based on his consistency. Because, I mean, you look at Dusty. Dusty had 5 or 6 goated seasons. Right?
Goated
seasons.
Yep.
But Pendles has had consistently good years for a long period of time.
People will see the glitz and glamour, like you said, of the Dusty or the Danger or the Nat 5 or the 4 or 5 years, and they'll go, yes, that's what I want, rather than the guy who's been consistent for 20 years. I'll be honest with you, I think that's once in a generation type of player. You don't get a player that's consistent for 20 years straight. You don't get LeBron James.
I think he should be spoken about in that conversation. I don't know if he's better individually, but he's a LeBron James type.
He's played 20 years in the league.
And he's like 2 average seasons. He's never been dropped in his entire career.
And this is from the moment he started playing. The only time, you're right. The only time he hasn't played is if he's been injured and seriously injured.
He's played. He's been in the league longer than he's been alive. Is that?
Yeah. It was 18 when he got drafted. He's been in the league for 21 years. You're right.
He's never
Absolutely.
had a bad season,
so
maybe he is better than 5. What's your most memorable
Scott
Pendlebury moment? Since you started following footy, Pendles, your footy journey and Pendles' footy journey is almost the same.
Yeah.
So, what's your favourite
Scott Pendlebury moments? I'd have to say the day he bounced the ball on a pigeon at the MCG.
Yeah.
That was a very interesting day. I'd probably say there's a commentary that Anthony Hudson did. And it was a game against Gold Coast. It probably would have been 2017, 16, sometime around then. But basically, Scott Pendlebury, I'd say, almost sent half the Gold Coast defense to the cleaners by just swinging one way and the other, selling candy, and then smacked it from 40 and scored. And I think Anthony Hudson said something along the lines of like, that's literally poetry in slow motion. I'd say that. I'd say the 2010 prelim, actually.
Okay.
He, I think, had probably the top, I'd say, 5 games of his career that night. There's a lot of Pendlebury moment. Like, the thing with Pendlebury is you're not going to get a Dustin Martin moment out of him.
Yeah.
You're not going to get a Dangerfield moment out of him. Like, you're not going to get that one big explosive. Like, he will do little bits and pieces here and there where you're just like, oh my God, like, I wouldn't have, no other regular player would have been able to do that.
So then, speaking of that consistency, you talk about Pendlebury in 2010.
Yeah.
A game he dominated in 2010.
Yep.
2010 prelim.
Yep.
And then you talk about, what are we in 2026?
Yep.
Anzac Day. He has his highest rated game.
Yep.
16 years later.
Apart. Yeah.
This guy's still tearing teams apart.
I don't know which one of the footy shows it was. I saw it on during the week. He's currently the 19th highest rated player in the league. Currently.
21 years later.
What's the date today? This 18th of
And how old is he?
May,
Like 38 years old?
Turning 39 in January next year. The 19th highest rated player in the league.
Play, who knows?
That's Scott Pendlebury for you.
Wow.
That's
fair
Scott
play.
Pendlebury for you.
So shout out Pendles.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully this is going to be a good game. We saw the way West Coast played on the
He's
weekend.
always welcome to come on the couch.
And the Bill was calling them out one by one.
Jump on Pendles.
The lot of yous. Carlton.
Yes.
Carlton. As happy as you were about Collingwood losing, I'm not that happy about Carlton winning, don't get me wrong. But Carlton won a game finally.
They did against the Bulldogs at Marvel Stadium on Saturday night. New coach. We didn't
Is that
get
a trend? Whenever you get a new coach, you win the next game.
Seems to be happening, and you know what?
Well, Carlton.
Relieved for Carlton. Hey,
I have an idea for you.
Sack Fraser next week.
Literally.
Bringing it up.
Literally.
I'm all for it.
Just make one of the players a coach. There's 44 players. That'll do your season.
I'm all for it.
Carlton won on the weekend.
They did, yeah.
And I can almost say, more or less convincingly, against a Doggies team who has been all over the joint this year. Talk to me about Carlton's win.
I was very happy. I was just relieved.
Imagine.
Round one, when we won in round one, it felt like a loss because behind so many behinds are kicked.
Yep.
So it didn't even feel like a win. But this game, you just felt like a win, and we got to enjoy it. But
Carlton players, Carlton fans.
Yeah, I mean,
9.
there was like 40 seconds left, and I think it was like a minute to go, and the Bulldogs kicked 2 goals, and there was 40 seconds. You're like,
and you guys said not again,
40 seconds to go, but thankfully the game was done and dusted.
How much of that game did you actually get to watch?
I watched most of it.
Okay.
Which was
what was different for you from this game that hasn't been in the last couple of weeks? This whole season,
the worst part was I wouldn't say much except for effort. There was more uncontested marks. You could tell like there was more control in the last 10 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
So players were kicking it around a bit more. There was a lot of chipping.
Yeah.
But there was more effort. There was more enthusiasm from the kids. Shout out Jack Ison, debuted with the number 30. He had a day out. I think he had 15 and a goal.
Yeah.
Indigenous player. He also joined in on the cultural ceremony. Him, Zach Williams, and RD Jones. And it was fantastic to watch.
Yeah.
So he had a day out. Matty Carroll kicked 3 and had 15, I think, 15 or 20.
Yeah.
So they nicknamed him Jeff. I don't know why. But Matt Carroll kicked 3. It was a day out for him. Harry Mackay looked good. He looked good. It looked threatening. He was all over the ground. He played in the ruck. I think maybe 2. But he played in the ruck. He was up and about.
Yeah.
And then Cripper had a day out as well. And I think, I do agree. I think Cripper cops it way too harsh in the media.
I mean,
every time he has a bad game in Carlton, other star players don't cop it the way Cripper does.
I mean,
every week Patrick Cripps cops it. So he had a good game.
Patrick Cripps probably had. It's probably his best game in about 2 years.
I don't know about 2. Maybe this year. Last year.
I'd say over the last 18 months. Probably.
It was a good game. It was 2 goals. It was Cripps of old. He was
30
imposing.
disposals, 2 goals,
plenty
8
of
clearances,
goal assists, you name it. He was everywhere. So I
And
was
even
pleased.
Looking at the numbers, Carlton
We beat them in
dominated
everything, yeah.
almost everything. So
I think, to be fair, the Bulldogs for some reason led most of the game. They led up until the third term. It was only we kicked 5 in the last quarter.
Yep.
And then they kicked 2 late. But we only led really the last quarter. But we never. I felt we were in the game. I felt we were in the game. I never felt we were out of the game. So very happy, very relieved. Really, we just got a win.
I think I think I said this to, I don't remember who it was, but a couple of the people around us, and I said, I think Carlton might win this weekend or on the day before, on the simple fact that there's something about having a new coach come in that just rejuvenates. Yeah, it's almost like you can actually go out and enjoy the game you're playing rather than the standard pressure that comes with we're already messing up, we're already losing, we're already in a... It's almost like the Carlton players were just willing VOSS out of the club. And then once he was out, they're just like, all right, we can breathe now, and then we can do what we need to do.
Yeah.
That's almost what it felt and looked like.
There's no consequences if they lose. There's no consequences if they play poorly.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real. You know, it's an interim coach. So they played with that freedom. You saw it. I don't think too much changed with their game plan. It was still Carlton still played their contested way. But maybe more uncontested marks was a big thing. We haven't had that since.
More control of the possession,
So maybe that's a change, as Fraser wants to say. But go Blue.
A couple of names and tell me which one of these guys you think will be the next Carlton coach.
I had a feeling you were going to go there, but I just wanted to check that.
John Longmire.
Yeah.
Ken Hinkley. Adam Simpson. Shit, it's probably not going to happen, but I'm going to mention his name anyway. James Hood.
I want John Longmire.
Longmire.
I'm in the category of, because, and I'll say this now, I don't want to go with an untried assistant. I don't want to go with a...
Ken Hinkley and Adam Simpson are very well. Adam Simpson's a premiership coach.
I don't think Hinkley will come back because we've got Chris Davies, who was former football boss at Port Adelaide, and maybe him and Hinkley. They have a good relationship.
Oh, okay.
Just maybe they need to
stay away from each other.
They don't want to keep work. They actually do have a good relationship, but I just think they both don't want to come back into the hot seat.
As a football manager and a coach.
I think they have a great relationship.
Yep.
I think because Carlton is it's a big club. It's a big personality. You've got a rabid fan base. Our fan base is not for the soft-hearted. We are we will eat you up. Our fan base is rabid. Our board is rabid.
Your board needs help.
Your board needs help. It needs help.
So does the rest of the team as well in the club. But
it's a big club. There's a lot of pressure on, and then the media constantly comes after you. But because there's such a there's so much with Carlton. You need to have a coach with a big personality, and even coaches with big personalities get chewed up and spat out.
Michael Voss is a perfect.
Mick Malthouse.
Yep.
Michael Voss.
Yep.
Chewed out and spat out.
Yeah.
The untried assistants.
Yep.
Bolton, Teague, chewed and spat out. So you need someone like, maybe it has to be a Longmire, because I think a untried assistant, I don't know if they'll survive Carlton. That's my view. So, Johnny Longmire, welcome to Carlton.
Johnny Longmire. Fair enough.
Anyways.
One last question for you on Carlton, and I want a yes or no answer.
Yeah, we're done.
Is it time to rebuild that Carlton? That's why I said I want a yes or no answer, because I know we're going to open a can of 10 worms that we're not going to be able to...
No.
Okay. Anyways, time for...
Yes, top team, flop team of the week.
Talk to me, Neil.
Let's get underway.
Talk to me.
I'm starting with Geelong.
They're your top team of the week.
They are my top team of the week. The category.
They've had a couple of good weeks.
Don't even have the numbers here. I've only got top team of the week, Geelong. But you know what? They went to the Gabba.
Yep.
They were up by 4, 5, 6, 7 goals against the Lions, and they got the job done. 41 points.
Toyed with Brisbane.
Was it
Sean Manor?
He kicked the bag, didn't he?
Sean Manor kicked 5 and had 30.
5 and 30.
Funny thing about that,
Tell me.
He talked shit to Jeremy Cameron about that. And Jeremy Cameron said, come and talk back to me when you have 7 and 30.
He had a day out. He had an absolute day out.
Bailey Smith had a day out. Tom Stewart, Max Holmes.
Smith had 4 of 30? 35,
Smith had 34 and kicked 2 to go with 7 clearances, 11 tackles.
Absolute day out. And
I think they took that grand final loss very personally, Geelong. They were like, we're coming out for a murderous scene. This is not going to be it. Yeah, I agree.
They shut down Harris Andrews as well.
That was probably... I haven't seen
Jack
that
Henry?
happen. Yeah, I haven't seen that happen since the 23 grand final.
100%.
Literally, Jack Henry's a defender, mind you. And he brought him in, sent him straight to Harris Andrews and said, we don't care if you don't touch the ball all day, buddy. All you need to do is make sure this guy goes nowhere near that ball.
They did it so efficiently.
And he did an amazing job.
Did it so well.
I watched a fair amount of that game. Like, Geelong, the way they were moving that ball, their run and handball game.
There you go.
We spoke about this last week against what they did against Collingwood. Same shit this week. Brisbane, as much as they competed and as much as they tried to stay in it, they just couldn't. They didn't have, I can almost say, the willpower that Geelong were pushing up against them. Geelong's overlap handball run, so inside, outside, down the line, through the middle, like there was nothing Brisbane could do about it. And they made Brisbane look hopeless.
Yeah.
And Brisbane do not look hopeless very easily. So
do we think maybe it's a bit of a harsh call? Question marks on Brisbane?
No, but something interesting that popped up, and quickly mention this and move on. Before Brisbane last year, I think we might be getting a little too comfortable with saying Brisbane is just Brisbane, and they'll just bounce back and they'll figure it out. They drop off, and we'll have to probably look up these numbers to be exact, but their drop off from where they were this time last year and now is significantly higher than their drop off between 24 and last year. 2022, Geelong won the premiership, didn't play finals the following year. Drop off was massive. Collingwood won the 23 premiership, did not play finals the following year. Massive drop off. Now, Brisbane defied those odds last year. They won the 24. They somehow had a slow start, but came back and played well and won the back-to-back.
They're not doing a 3-beat?
The way they're going right now, because their numbers between 24 and 25 and 25 and now are completely different. 24 and 25, it was a small drop-off. Not that big. The numbers now between 25 and now are matched.
The competition has caught up.
Not only that, it's projecting to look very much like Geelong at 23, Collingwood at 24. The fact that we've been saying, don't worry about it, it's Brisbane, they'll sort themselves out. I don't think we're at that point anymore for Brisbane of saying they'll just sort themselves out. They might be in trouble, Brisbane. But we're not putting them on any forward watch. No question marks yet. But I think we, as the fans, I don't think we can get too comfortable. Many of Brisbane themselves and their fans can't get too comfortable saying it's Brisbane. They'll come back.
Fair call.
So that's what I have for Brisbane and a little bit of insight. My top team of the week.
Who is your top team?
The fun and dangerous Melbourne Demons.
Oh, we love the D's.
The D's have absolutely turned the tide around. I think anybody who's not on the D's bandwagon right now would be getting on it.
I love watching them.
But they're fun. Watching them. They're very dangerous.
You went to the game. Tell me what it was like.
The first half of the game was not bad, I'll be honest with you. It looked like Hawthorn were playing catch-up the whole time.
Yeah, okay.
And to our point of last week, and we copped a lot of flack for this on social media, but once we
were right.
Hawthorn's defense does not exist without Tom Barrass.
Yeah.
And you said to me it's a bit harsh last week.
Yeah, no.
We witnessed it firsthand this week. And for the next couple of weeks that he's not playing, we'll keep witnessing it. Hawthorn's defense does not exist without Tom Barrass.
Do you reckon Scrimshaw is important?
It's funny thing. Someone actually said that in the comments on one of the posts. Yeah. They said if Scrimshaw was playing, it'd be a lot different.
I don't think so.
I don't think it'd be that much different because, and they did exactly what, coincidentally, what I said last week about putting Weddle permanently at halfback. Homeboy was fighting for his life. I'll be honest with you. He looked lost. He looked like he had no idea what he was doing. He looked more damaging and dangerous when he went off for a run down the wing or down the middle of the ground, and he was giving and receiving and moving. When he was locked down at half-back fighting for his life,
he had to play on someone.
Him and Sicily were finished. They could not do anything. Battle held his own, don't get me wrong. But Sicily and Weddle, they cannot play as lockdown defenders.
No, they don't like to defend.
We had a back and forth last week about Weddle. Weddle could not do shit this week when he was playing one-on-one on somebody. So Hawthorn without a defense, miserable. Melbourne, on the other hand, brother, they put on a clinic, especially in the back half of that third quarter and the fourth quarter. It got to a point where 10 minutes until fourth quarter, Hawthorn fans started leaving.
Yeah.
They're like, we don't want to watch the rest of this shit. Because Melbourne, their ball movement, their unpredictability.
So fun to watch, man.
Them going forward, there isn't one or two players that you have to focus on stopping.
They're all
you don't know
going.
who the hell is going to be the
Cozzy, Latrell,
literally.
Rivers,
Van Rooyen, Petty on the weekend kick 3.
They're all
like they're just having fun with it.
Chandler,
and their midfielders, Chandler, Steele. I don't even need to say anything about Max Gawn. Langford, both the Pickett boys. Like
I watched that game, and even watching it was enjoyable.
And being at the ground as a neutral and watching that game, Melbourne were just. It was fluidity.
Yeah.
It just ran. It just it flowed. Like Melbourne, there was no. Once they turned the ball over at half back, especially, brother, Hawthorn might as well have packed their bags and gone home because the way Melbourne were just running and overlapping. Mind you, this is a Melbourne team that doesn't have Viney, Brody Myercheck in it, Christian Salem, Jake Melksham, Tom McDonald when needed. These are all half of those guys are senior premiership players. Salem, Viney, Myercheck, McDonald, all premiership players. So the fact that this team is able to do what they're doing right now without those guys in it, the midfielders that we mentioned, Max Gawn, brother, I said this on the weekend after that game. Give Max Gawn a 10-year contract.
He's the greatest ruckman of all time. He's the greatest ruckman of all time.
I think we have got to a point where we can accept the fact that that's the reality.
This guy is the greatest of all time. The greatest ruckman of all time.
Put him forward, he's a danger. Put him in defense, he will save the day. Put him in the middle, he will treat your best midfielder like he's a ragdoll.
Ned Reeves and
Lloyd Meek.
He made it ordinary, and they're both great ruckmen on their own.
And they couldn't do anything. They sent him forward. No Hawthorn defender can play on him, especially without Barras as well. The ruckmans, either Meek or Reeves, went forward with him. Couldn't match. Like there was nothing they could do about it.
Yeah,
Hawthorn. So for that reason, being Melbourne are my top team of the week, I think
shout out Demons.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the way they're going right now, they will be a very fun team to watch and a very, very dangerous team to come up against in the finals.
I think they will cause problems. They can win. They can win a couple of finals.
Definitely, massive problems. You know what?
And I think they'll finish in the 8. I don't think they'll finish 9 and 10. I think they'll finish in the 8.
I think they'll finish in the 8. The way they're going right now, 7th, 6th, anywhere between 6 and 8, they'll finish.
Yeah,
So, yep, that makes them my top team of the week and flop team of the week.
Flop team of the week. This one we've talked a little bit about them in the earlier segment, but my flop team of the week is the Western Bulldogs. I think this game against Carlton was one that they just had to win.
Yeah.
And they didn't fire a shot. I think they've lost 4 of their last 5, if I'm not mistaken, after winning their first 4. So they just haven't got their game on track. And this game against Carlton, I say this not because, I'm happy Carlton won and everything, but they were just ordinary. A lot of their players didn't fire a shot. Yeah. Ed Richards, Riley West.
2 players outside of Bont that had over 20 disposals.
Yeah, Bont on one leg. Bont can't do everything. Norton was okay. I think he kicked a couple of goals, but Wiedering still made him look ordinary.
Yep.
So their midfield, you would have thought would match Carlton's midfield at least.
And did I not say that last week?
Their midfield was just beaten. They were beaten in the midfield. Richards couldn't.
As a matter of fact, you said to me I was too generous to Carlton for saying their midfield was almost the same.
They were beaten. Ed Richards was like, this guy had a non-existent game. What is it? 19 touches. 19 touches, And this is a game Ed Richards would have thrived in against a Carlton midfield that can't really run.
Yeah, I agree.
He struggled. Up forward, they struggled. Down back, their problems are clear. Harry was able to take grabs from everywhere.
A lot like Hawthorn, Doggies as well. If they don't sort out that defence,
I think the Doggies are going to be in real trouble.
Yep.
And if the Doggies miss out on top 10, which I don't think, which could happen the way teams are playing, if the Doggies don't play in the top 10, there's question marks on Luke Beveridge. That's what I'll say. He's been there since 2015 or 2014. If the Doggies finish something like 12s, which I don't think will happen, they might finish. I don't know. They might, but if they finish 12,
I think they'll finish in the top 10.
Yeah, but I think if they finish 12, there's big question marks on Luke Beveridge.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I think the way the Doggies have been going this year and the way the ladder's set out, like of those teams, Adelaide, St Kilda, Collingwood, I think are probably the only threats to their ladder.
Yeah, so they should finish in the 8.
In the top 10.
In the top 10.
But the reality of they should and they will.
It's another conversation. Yeah,
absolutely.
It's another conversation.
So yeah, doggies are your flop team of the week.
Yeah, just really disappointed. Like, put my bias aside, they should have beaten Carlton, and they should have beaten Carlton comfortably. So
yeah, I agree.
And if you're the real deal, you win those games.
Yeah, so, I agree. And that's your top team of the week.
Yeah,
flop team of the week.
Your flop team of the week.
Hey, the newest fraudsters of the AFL, the GWS fraudsters. I'm not even calling them Giants.
Yes, they are. No.
The biggest fraudsters.
They are frauds.
And
Giants.
And we said they're irrelevant early in the week.
They are a pathetic football club.
Pathetic is
Fold them up, bro.
Wild.
Fold this crap.
You know, you guys wanted a name change from GWS Giants, GWS fraudsters. That's what we're gonna call you. What the hell happened? Because I said it last week.
You called it.
I said they go to West Coast. They go to Perth and play West Coast there. West Coast will beat them. And I said that because I was just like, West Coast can probably play better at Perth. And the way they played the week before that against Essendon wasn't convincing either. The GWS have not been convincing at all.
They have not been.
I understand injuries. I understand.
Since North, they got over the line against North, scraped against North, or they lost to North. They scraped against North.
Yep.
Barely beat Essendon. They found ways to win.
Yep. Since this year has started, the one game that took us all by surprise was that first Hawthorn game. Their usual ass whooping that takes place at Marvel every year. The Doggies belted them. They lost to the Saints. They lost to Collingwood. They beat Richmond, and that was during gather round. Since then, they've lost to Sydney. They've just scraped against North. They lost to Gold Coast. They just scraped against Essendon, and they lost to West Coast.
Ordinary football club.
So out of the bottom, 4 or 5 teams, they've only beaten 2 of them, which are North and Essendon, which is horrible.
Beyond fraudsters,
which is horrible.
Can we just not write them off?
I mean, shit.
Where are they on the ladder? Do you know?
They are 16th, 13th.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And that's only because Port lost. That's the only reason why. They would be lower. They've gifted. West Coast have won one less game than them this year.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's how bad GWS are going. But speaking of the game on the weekend, GWS, funnily enough,
tell me.
I think I mentioned this to you and one of our mates earlier today. You know who I saw earlier today?
Who did you see?
I was actually at a graduation this morning down in Monash University.
Yes.
Adam Kingsley.
Oh, GWS Giants coach.
Walked past me like...
Big man?
He's massive.
Yeah.
I would be terrified if I was any of these players.
He looks like he can bench 150.
He looks like he could eat 150 kilos.
Wow.
He said something a while ago in that doco that came out, and he said, talent ain't going to get you anywhere. Talent's not going to do shit for you. If there's no effort, talent might as well be in the bin. And that's exactly what I saw from GWS yesterday. Absolutely zero effort.
Do we give them some slack because of their injury list?
But how on earth are you going to Perth and losing to West Coast? My brother, how are you going to Perth
I don't know.
and losing to West Coast if I'm going to give you some slack?
I don't know.
Okay, you lost to, you lost to Geelong. I'll give you some slack. You lost to Gold Coast. I'll give you some slack.
No excuses.
You beat North Melbourne and you fought for your life against Essendon last week. There's no slack for that. Yeah, you have enough good players in that team, enough leaders, enough senior members that you should not be playing that rubbish to the point where a bunch of 18-year-old high school kids can beat you guys.
You've got to give them credit. Highly rated at 30.
I don't know.
Kicked a couple of goals.
Don't get me wrong.
Best game for the Eagles.
If it wasn't Melbourne's excitement for top team of the week, West Coast would have been my top team. Like, they played amazingly. And their senior players are doing exactly what Richmond's senior players are doing. And they're helping these kids. And they're playing well enough and leading by example. GWS are full of stars, bro. I don't understand this shit. How are you guys struggling? I understand the injuries, but that's not an excuse. If you're a decent football team that can keep... If I list you the amount of top 10 or 15 picks that they have, bro, genuinely, and West Coast wiped the floor with them in every category that you can look at that.
They dominated them.
Inside 50s, efficiency inside. Look at this.
They're lucky the scoreboard was as close as it suggested.
Literally. Melbourne stopped everything under the sun, West Coast. So, for that reason being, the fraudsters, the biggest fraudsters of the AFL, the brand newest fraudsters of the AFL, the GWS Giants, are my flop team of the week.
Now, we're doing something a little bit different. One of our mates is going to... We're giving a call to one of our mates.
Okay.
He's going to jump on and he's going to talk footy with us. He's actually, to give him some context, this man was one of the main reasons behind starting the podcast.
You know what? You're right.
Day one.
You can do the introduction.
Yeah,
I'm going to let you do
man,
this.
Day one of the podcast, when we had this idea, we gave this man, hey, how do we start a podcast? And he said, do this, this, this. We did this, this, and this, and here we are today. Welcome to the show.
I'm honoured. Fans could call me Zach.
Zach, there we go.
How
are we, buddy?
Look, honestly, it's a privilege to finally be on. I've been a long time listener.
Yep.
Genuinely proud of what you guys are doing.
Yep.
Watching you guys, it's amazing. So yeah, thanks for having me on.
Hey, like Nabil said, honestly, you're one of the reasons why we're here. Why we're here now, and we're doing this podcast, Loki. So,
Oh, you guys.
And
I just planted the seed. You know what I mean?
Listen,
to see what you guys have been doing.
That's what mates are for.
Yeah, listen, but we got business to talk about.
Talk to us. What do you want to talk about today?
Yeah, look, I've been doing some thinking, yeah.
Yeah.
And first, I wanted to say, I actually genuinely believe that we shouldn't be getting 7-8 tips every single week, every single round.
Yep.
When we're doing our footy tipping.
Yep.
So I noticed something a few weeks ago where everyone that wasn't even watching AFL in my, where I work,
yep,
was all getting 8.
Because they're all tipping the favourites?
And bro, yeah, they're all tipping the favourites. So one day I went to this lady, bro. She doesn't watch AFL, doesn't know any teams, yeah?
Yep.
I said, hey, man, you're doing really well. Like, who are you tipping this weekend? She goes, I don't know these teams. And I said, what, you going for Frio? She goes, where's that? I don't know.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So I realized, you know what I realized is AFL is becoming genuinely so predictable. It's to a point where someone who has no interest in the game can tip or whatever and, bro, most likely get it right. So there has to be something wrong with the sport. I think the AFL communism model of, you have teams that come up and go down and the league is an arbiter that keeps everything fair and going. It seems like it's broken now because
the system's basically failing is what you're saying.
It's failing, man.
Yeah.
It's failing.
Yeah.
And the way I look at it is I'm actually not that interested in watching your Sunday afternoon game where a few years ago I was watching, Richmond versus St Kilda. This is a question I wanted to leave you guys with, yeah. How does the game get back to where it was being exciting? And I just, what
big question. That's a massive question.
That's a massive question. We're going to spend the whole lot.
You guys having me on.
Yeah, that's a massive question that we can address. That is a loaded question. A loaded question. I'll let you start, or do you want me to start with attempting to answer part of where we can go with this question? This is going to be a conversation. You know what? Let's get ready for it.
All right. Let's try and address it. I'll start us off.
Is the game boring to you, Nabil?
I certainly watch less football than I used to. Now, obviously,
is that
we
because
have a podcast, and I think some games are dead. I'll tell you that.
No, I agree with you.
Some games, especially
that's what I asked this weekend.
Definitely pointed out, and that's not just this week. That's a lot of games last year.
Yeah. Especially the back half of the year, once teams knew they weren't going to play finals.
So maybe the wildcard stuff then helps in hindsight.
Yeah, but in all honesty as well, the team that finishes 10th is not going to win the premiership.
Yeah, I know, but
maybe
you're like,
but yeah, I get what you're saying.
But I just think I'll try and answer it in segments or in parts. First part is I definitely think the lack of physicality makes the game less attractive.
Has made it more boring.
Definitely made it more boring. It's faster. There's so many rules.
Yep.
Now it's always, and I do think we pay too many free kicks as well.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a problem.
Absolutely.
Everything's a free kick.
Every breath is a free kick.
Everything is a free kick, and it's always the umpire's whistle. And I think that just takes away from the game. Every time the umpire blows the whistle, it takes something away from the game.
Yep.
Pay the obvious stuff. No problem with that. If it's clearly high, some guy's had his neck taken out, pay that.
Yep.
Or his head taken off, whatever, pay that.
Yep.
But if there's 50-50 calls, let it go.
Yep.
And then the third one is where I think there might be on the flip side, I think our attention spans are just shortening.
Do you think that's the problem though?
Oh, well, I'm just going to try and play devil's advocate for a minute and say maybe.
In saying that, I don't think it's an attention span thing. I think it's like anything that you watch, right? If I'm watching, we both went to uni. If you put on a uni lecture on and said to me, sit down and pay attention to every word this guy says for the next hour and 20 minutes, you're going to get maybe
You're gonna
12
lose
minutes
it.
from me,
Yeah.
right? But if you put on a TV show that's very interesting and very intriguing, if there's a 2-hour episode, I'll sit down and watch every minute. And it's the same thing. Because the game, I feel like, and I think you agree with this, has become so boring, so tactical, so, hey, we'll figure a way around it. You cannot keep an audience attention span for that long.
And sports,
Simply put.
sports should be like a TV show. Theoretically, sport is a movie. The
It
greatest
should be
stories
something
are-
that's exciting,
Yeah.
something that's keeping you on your toes the whole time.
But now,
But if it's something that you're just kind of like...
Zach did say it. It's becoming predictable.
Absolutely.
The same teams are.
Sure.
Do you think it's well? Speaking of what Zach said, they're just like Essendon, Freo.
Yeah.
There's 25,000 at the
Yeah,
game.
that was shocking.
Most
That
of
was
those,
very
most of the
shocking.
Essendon fans left at halftime. So I think in the second half,
blame them.
there was like 10 or 15,000 at the MCG.
Probably.
But it was a dead game because you've got a dominant team and an average team. So my question is there a widening gap between your
good teams in your...
Yeah.
Absolutely. I 110%. It's like...
and is that a problem?
And that's a massive problem. I'll tell you why. If you have a league where the very best at the top are the same... It's like EPL soccer, right? For those that watch the EPL and for those that know anything about soccer. It's like the EPL. There's a big 6 or 7 or 8, whatever it is, right? And every year, if you right now sat here and asked anybody that watches football or soccer, if you said to them, who do you think is going to win the Premier League next year? They'll give you one of 4 or 5 clubs. And it's the same. And the AFL is becoming like that. Geelong, Hawthorn, Brisbane, Collingwood, Sydney. Since, 2026 now? Since 2016, if you look at the premiers, it's the same teams on repeat.
So your top 4, I don't think it's changed too much. But you're saying these teams, there should be more rotation.
I mean, I think there should be more competitive. And it's shit like that where when Richmond won 3 premierships in 4 years, Hawthorn won the same thing maybe a couple of years before that. And Geelong won the same thing a couple of years before that. It's literally just a cycle of...
But why? Why? And how do we solve it? Let's try and answer that question.
How do you solve it? I don't think you can solve it unless...
Because you've got academy, you've got draft picks. The AFL funds these clubs that can't afford to pay their salary cap. It funds St Kilda and North Melbourne and the Bulldogs and gives them a lot of money. And the Giants and the Gold Coast. The AFL gives them plenty of dosh.
So basically the AFL spoon-feeding these teams.
Well, it does. That's how the model works. So.
Okay, that makes it even worse. Honestly, that makes it even worse. Because if you're a struggling team...
What's the solution? What's the solution? Give me a solution.
Stop changing the rules.
2 minutes.
Hey, stop changing the rules.
Okay.
Because the rule changes cause a lot more... Allow more physicality in the game.
100%.
I don't care.
100%.
You know what? And
you sign up to play AFL, you take the risk of playing AFL. I don't want to hear a lawsuit. I don't want to hear a...
I think that should go into their contracts.
Yeah.
I'm so
You
sorry
sign
to
up
say.
to play for this sport.
I think it should be, hey, listen, if you play AFL footy and your head gets knocked off your shoulders, brother, that's your problem.
Yeah.
You chose to play this game. It's a physical game. We know what comes with it. There's no such thing as, hey, I played this game, my head got effed up, and then now you want me to come. No, piss off. Like, I know it's bad. Don't get me wrong.
I
know
agree.
people have lives to live.
I agree.
I know they want their head... Like, sometimes it's just shit happens. I'm so
Don't
sorry.
play the sport.
The guy that goes into UFC gets his head knocked off
How
his
is
head.
it any different from UFC and boxing? I don't know. How is it any different
That's
from
what I'm
UFC
saying.
and boxing?
Because you're voluntarily choosing to be there. No one told you to become an AFL player.
Or rugby. It's no different.
That's my thing. Or that, or an even more extreme example or solution, which won't happen, but
I think the rule changes for one. I agree with you.
rule changes, allow more physicality in the game. I'll be honest with you, give the game a little bit more freedom in the sense of allow players to be themselves, allow people...
That's a whole different conversation.
Yeah, if you remove all the shackles and all the chains and...
Freedom! I want freedom!
That's how you make the game better.
Freedom!
That's genuinely how you make the game better.
Anyways.
And how you make the game, honestly, grow.
I agree.
Because AFL is getting to a stagnating point now, a plateau where it's...
We feel it. Fans feel it. The AFL feels it. Anyways.
Now.
We're
So,
going to wrap it up here.
yeah, and I
Push out.
think we can wrap it up here.
We will.
There's a lot to talk about today. A lot has
Wrap it
happened.
up, yeah.
As always, guys, a big shout out, a big thank you for tuning in. Nabil,
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe.
that's it.
Let's-
And take care, guys. We'll see you guys
Ciao.
next week. Ciao.